Mouse Scouts, Episode 7. Welcome to Mouse Scouts, the show dedicated to bringing you Disney park tips, inspiration, and family-friendly fun. My name is Chris.
And I'm Megan.
And this episode, we are talking about lunch.
Lunch?
Because I'm hungry. And even though we just ate dinner... Okay. So we're talking about bringing your lunch to the parks. So let's dig right in. No pun intended.
A lot of people are under the impression that you cannot bring in your own lunch, or that Disney frowns on that. And that's actually not true. You can bring in your lunch, and they will look through your lunch bag, and the only comment I've ever gotten is, "Oh, that looks good." So,
there we go.
There are some restrictions. There are restrictions on what you can bring. Of course, you cannot bring any knives. You can't bring anything that is in a glass container unless it's baby food. Baby food in glass containers is okay, but no glass jars of jelly. You cannot bring any alcohol, of course.
And if you want alcohol, they sell beer at California Adventure.
Yeah, California Adventure, you can get alcohol.
Just saying.
So, Disneyland, that's a no. But California Adventure, you can, anyway, you can get margaritas or beer or whatever, wine.
Yeah.
So, as far as what you would bring your lunch in, you want to bring a soft-sided cooler. If you're bringing, no big hard-sided coolers, if you do have one of those, they are going to direct you over to the lunch area that's just outside of the security gates, which has lockers and stuff. And I have even seen people just leave their large lunch coolers there, and I'm sure people mostly just ignore them. But you cannot bring the big wheeled or hard-sided containers in. We got our soft-sided container at Target, and it was quite reasonably priced, and it holds a full lunch and a bunch of snacks for the 5 of us for the whole day.
So now there are a couple of things. I mean, you said, you can't bring knives and stuff like that, but you can bring plasticware.
Yes, I did. One time I had brought in, I think it was peanut butter and jelly in plastic containers and a loaf of bread. And as I was going through security, and the lady looks at these things, she says, "So what are you going to use to put these things on the bread?" And I whipped out my plastic knife from a children's cutlery set, and she went, "All right, good." So that's really the most that I've ever been commented on by what I bring. And we bring in, like I said, peanut butter and jelly and bread, or ham and cheese. And, we bring in fruit, we bring in chips, we bring in everything the kids might want to eat during the day.
Yeah. A quick tip, if you do forget something to spread peanut butter, you can always jump into one of the restaurants, and they have plasticware there as well. So
pretty much any counter service place you're going to find knives. We also tend to use the counter service places for things like mustard and mayonnaise, so we don't have to worry about trying to bring those in for the little bits that you actually use those for.
So what are some of the different things you would recommend bringing? I mean, some of the things we brought in the past, obviously peanut butter and jelly. We've brought cold cuts and stuff like that, with ice packs in our little soft case cooler.
We've brought those, frozen chicken nuggets for the kids, heat them up at home, and those are fine cold. We've had them cold before, and I don't know about your kids, but mine eat everything lukewarm anyway, so they'll eat those. We've done like pasta salad. That's been pretty good. I think we've even brought like actual salad on one occasion, and that worked out okay.
It was a little interesting. I think we could have. It left a little to be desired on the execution, but experiment with things and figure things out, and make little tweaks and stuff, so that next time when you do that again, you've got it down a little more.
Anything that doesn't have to be heated then and there. If you like cold pizza, bring your leftover pizza from the night before. We did one time, we actually made bean and cheese burritos, and then we heated them up before we left the house, and we stuck them, and instead of using cold packs, we used hot packs. I've made these little things out of cotton flannel fabric, and then you put rice in them, and you sew them up, and you can use them as like heating pads. after sticking them in the microwave for a few minutes. And so we did that where after we microwaved them, we wrapped the bean and cheese burritos with foil, and then we put them in the cooler, but we put them with the hot packs, and they were still warm several hours later when we were ready to eat.
It was pretty cool because I think on that day we didn't do a full day, but as we put them in the thing, and they were actually still pretty hot by the time it came to eat. And she wrapped it up with foil and stuff a little bit afterwards, and with those rice packs that were also heated, it was a really good idea. So if you're handy with the sewing machine or whatever, you can make some of these yourself and have a nice little utility for all kinds of things.
And if you and your kids are less picky of eaters than we are, there's plenty of ideas on the line for lunchbox ideas. And you can get really creative with what you choose to bring. I like the quick and simple, but, to each their own, right?
Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk about some of the ideas for snacks. Some of the things that we have brought in the past, obviously fruit, you've got apples and
I'd much
peaches
rather,
and stuff like that.
Spend my 99 cents a pound for apples at Ralph's than spend $3.50 for one at Disneyland. So, but we bring, like string cheese. We've brought yogurt, applesauce pouches are a favorite with the kids, chips, goldfish crackers, granola bars. Mm-hmm. I mean, your standard lunchbox stuff.
Yeah, some of my favorites are those dried cranberries,
mm-hmm.
And little trail mix and stuff like that. And, have one of those and some string cheese, and, you're good for a little while.
Yeah, whatever the kids like to eat.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Our littlest will sit in the stroller with his banana, and he'll sit there and he will eat a whole banana in like 2 minutes flat.
Now here's the really cool thing, because if you're going to be doing a full day at Disney, you could plan to bring your own lunch, and that way you're not spending money on lunch. That gives you a little bit more money that you could maybe do a little something nicer for dinner, mm-hmm. and have that be the nice end cap to your day. So
sure, I know bringing our own lunch saves us between $40 and $50 a meal. Yeah. So, if we weren't bringing our own lunch, we wouldn't be able to afford to go to Disneyland quite as often.
Yep.
So it's definitely something that helps us to save money, gives the kids something a little healthier. We can bring more food because the portions at Disneyland aren't the most generous for the most part. So, well,
some places are.
But for the most part, if you're looking at burger and fries, you might still be hungry after you're done.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And, even if you do buy lunch, you can, bring a little something to supplement that mm-hmm. as well. So, and, bringing your own food in definitely saves you some money, and it's definitely something to think about. And hey, who's going to complain about saving a little bit of money?
And like I said, Disneyland does not have a problem with you bringing in your own food. I've recently read that Universal won't let you bring in food. You're only allowed to bring in certain small items. But Disneyland doesn't have a problem with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that does it for this episode. We would love to answer your questions on the show. So if you have anything that you would like us to cover, be sure to email us at fun@gomousescouts.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at GoMouseScouts and at Disneyland. So also be sure to visit our website and pick up your free Day at Disneyland resource pack. And you can find that at www.gomousescouts.com. So we will see you on next episode. Take care.